32 degrees Celsius. Crocodile just wants to warm up out in the open. What a great sight, look at that. Under the trees with the lovely egret close by as well. Travelling through fresh water, we're looking for saltwater crocodiles. Saltwater crocodiles are most likely to be in fresh water. Is that hard to understand? I hope so. The old timers called them salties. The locals still call them salties. We're locals, so we call them salties, of course. This is completely wrong. They're more correctly termed an estuarine crocodile. This is an estuary. This is part of the sea, but here we are so far from the sea that the water is always fresh. And this is where saltwater crocodiles are most likely to be found. In the upper reaches, in the freshwater reaches of our big rivers right across the north coast of Australia. Often found in the sea, of course. They use the sea like we use the roads. They use the sea to move around. When they're in the sea, they're on the move. They're looking for fresh water, or living fairly close to fresh water. And they do get around. They get around so much more than we give them credit for. They get around mostly during the wet season as these rivers go into flood. In the wild, they'll only ever jump at once. Sharpie's going to try very hard to get each crocodile to jump a couple of times so that everyone does get a good look at them. Very, very slow though, very careful. That's the way they are. Only in that very last second as they strike, as they jump, any real speed at all the rest of the time, conserving their energy for the kill. There we go, that's what we came to see. Spectacular jumping crocodiles. Crocodiles. What a great effort. Well, let's hope we find a goal. But never really know. Oh, pretty good start here. Our third crocodile that we've seen. It may jump, it may not. It's not showing a lot of enthusiasm, is it? Sometimes they're dreadfully slow. Sometimes they're really quick. Sometimes they're a bit fat. Sometimes they're trim taut and terrific. They're all so different. But if they come out to see us, chances are they are hungry. It's only those that are hungry coming out to see us. Most of them won't. Most of them will remain buried in the mud along the edges asleep.
Come on. Oh, this is a creepy one.
Yes, I think we might give it a miss there, Sharpie. A good look, but I'm really not that keen. Change his mind here. Yes, the lower deck, that's the place to be. As he lifts his head up, if he does come into the boat. Let's wait and see. Look, he's got bits of bark missing all over his head. One of his ears has been half ripped off in a fight. He's always fighting, this old man. Yes, he's coming in. Here we go. As he lifts his head up, see if you can see down the throat, right down the throat, right at the back. There's a flap of skin, the palatial valve. This stops the crocodile filling up with water. When they go under the water, crocodiles can only eat their food on the to smash your bones. It's designed to rip you apart and swallow you piece by piece. You'll notice that the crocodiles do not chew their food. Everything is swallowed whole. And then amazing digestive juices dissolve the teeth, the hair, the skin, the bone, everything converted to mostly lactic acid. An intense form of energy stored within the crocodile can be called upon incredibly quickly. Enabling the crocodiles to jump can be called upon incredibly slowly. Enabling the crocodiles to go for amazing amounts of time without eating anything at all.
Fine, thank you.
And let's have a good look up front. There's a bit of a circle with two small holes in the middle, opening and closing right at the top front of the snout there. That's the nose, it's where they breathe. The nose, then the eyes, then the ears. 3 sets of eyelids flicking back and forth very hard to tell who a crocodile's looking at. But if you're wearing really bright coloured clothing, it's probably you. That's what they go for. Bright oranges, reds, yellows, same colours as the life jackets. Behind the eyes, the ears are normally closed. They only need their ears when they're out of the water. Most of the time they're in. When they're in the water, they sense vibrations very, very well. Sense another crocodile, a fish, a crab digging in the mud, and they can certainly sense our great big diesel engines. That's why we see so many crocodiles. Look at that, takes the meat, throws the head back and just swallows the body. The piece of meat, sorry. Down it goes, whole, in one piece. It's hard to believe that people go swimming up here, isn't it? In the very same places these crocodiles are so often found. Remember, we're travelling through fresh water looking for saltwater crocodiles. If you get the chance when you're in Darwin, go and have a look at our museum. It's a really good museum and it's free. In there, on display, a big crocodile. Sweetheart. Part of our history up here. Sweetheart at just 5.1 metres. To erect signs wherever people do normally go swimming, warning of the danger of crocodiles. Look for them, you will see them. Wherever people are swimming, you will see a sign. Don't ever swim anywhere else. Only right beside a sign warning of the danger of crocodiles. We're mad up here, we are. But you've got to come to grips with that. There we go, sweetie, up the bank. Get out of the way. Watch out for Hannibal. He's a thug. He really is. Oh, look, if you look on the bank there close, you can see it looks like the old man's climbed up the bank. Look at the size of the footprints in the mud. They're a few days old now. The slide effect in the middle is gone, but you can see the size of those footprints as he's dragged himself up the bank. Yeah, the road's starting to lean a bit. Just stand back a little bit if you could. Just a little bit. Sweetie, up you come. There we go, that's what we came to see, spectacular jumping crocodiles. Well, as we come into the journey now, have a good look around and make sure you've left nothing behind. So many.
He's a monster, this one. Or at least these frills are. Wow. They grow up to about 1 metre or so. So this is a really good one.
Oh, nice. Beautiful. Wow.
Yeah. He has got teeth, so if he does bite me, then
it will hurt.
It will cut you, yeah. And they'll also scratch too. He's got quite blunt nails. He's shedding his skin. You can see his skin coming off his side.
Why isn't he working harder to scratch you right now?
Well, I don't think he realises that scratching me would annoy me that much. I can see him on the ground sometimes. But most times it's easier to spot them in the trees, I reckon.
Coming up.